Welcome to the Healing Project podcast. You, me, and we, where personal growth meets relational intelligence.
In this space, we are committed to having conversations about loving others well without losing yourself. I'm Jefferson.
And I'm Rosa.
And we are the Joneses.
Spiritual leaders, entrepreneurs, and emotional health advocates. Hey!
What's up, y'all?
Welcome back, everybody. Today is episode 18, being honest about where you are.
Oh, my.
Yeah, so we're going to slow it down a little bit today. We are in the midst of our I Am Changing series.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just been phenomenal. We've been getting a lot of positive feedback. But one of the things we thought would be helpful today was to slow it down a little bit today and just have more conversation and less teaching. And so today we're going to be focusing on the we. And it's all about staying connected through emotional honesty in a relationship. And this episode in particular, we are going to have real-time conversation about emotional honesty in our relationship. Or in a relationship with anyone, right? And what it takes to tell the truth about where you are without it turning into blame, withdrawal, or pressure to change. This is tough stuff.
Yeah.
It's where the rubber meets the road. Yeah.
And it's a space where I've learned to grow over the years, even more recently. Still growing, still developing. I think I'm enjoying the journey because it helps, it's helped me to know myself better. But then me knowing myself better, I'm able to open up to you better, which then improves our connection and intimacy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would echo that. I would say, this isn't something that is super easy for me either. Sometimes being emotionally honest. I think it's one thing to be honest about just everyday coming and goings about knowledge and information. It's another thing to be emotionally honest. That's a deeper level practice and exercise. So I'm really excited about our conversation today. Okay. So honesty is not the same as criticism, right? That's just something I want to share as we get into our discussion today. So when someone is choosing to be honest, that is not the same as criticism. And I think it needs to be said because oftentimes in relationships, if we're not careful, when people are honest with us about how they're experiencing things or where they are or what they're going through, sometimes as humans, we have a tendency to center ourselves instead of listening. We center ourselves and we oftentimes make what people say some sort of indictment about us. And I deal with it every single day, particularly in working with couples. Someone has enough courage to be open and honest about where they are and how they're experiencing things. And instead of the other person being thankful, right? Yeah. And grateful for the honesty, they make it about them and the whole thing goes left real quick.
Sounds like pride a little bit.
Yeah, but it's a common thing and it's easy to kind of get into. So that's one of the things I think that is important to know as we get into this conversation. And then also you can tell the truth without tearing each other down. What do you think about that?
I think that's really good because, when you have to deal with someone, and, being honest, being truthful, you can share truth or be honest and, really work through what you're going through, what you're dealing with, and how that person's impacting you without taking a shot at that, without dehumanizing.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think that's, really important that we're able to do that in a way that doesn't tear people down, because people then feel attacked and it'll go in the direction that you're not trying to go.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question. For you, what has made it hard to be honest about where you really are?
I think, just straight up. I think the fear of how people will respond, how you will handle, even you in this dynamic, how you'll respond to what I'm feeling, what I'm going through, and whether how that's going to be judged,
Okay.
or how that's going to be handled.
So fear of being judged and fear of how I might respond. I love that. So the fear of how I might respond, right? Or if we're afraid of how other people might respond, what is that really about?
It's about me. It's not about you.
Okay.
Because,
say more.
Because I can't control your response to what I'm feeling, to my truth or my reality. Not even just my truth, but even my reality.
That's good.
Because I could be thinking something that's not even real, and you have a response to that. I still have to deal with that. But back to what we're focusing on really right now, I have to be able to manage myself.
Correct.
Right. And I have to be aware of myself.
Correct.
And so even if you don't support, or if you don't encourage, if you don't build up, I still have to sit in where I am and learn how to work through my own emotions and find my way out.
Correct. And I love you. I love that. Thank you so much for saying that, because I think oftentimes what happens, and that's the number one response that I get when I'm working with someone in coaching or counseling, and they get to the point where they are able to understand where they are on their journey. And they're at the place where they're able to be honest with themselves and honest with me in our relationship. And then I say, well, hey, have you said this, or have you shared this with your husband, or have you shared this with your wife, or have you shared this with your sister, or have you shared this with your boss? Because this can even apply to professional situations. Yeah. The answer sometimes is no. And I say, why not? It's like, because I'm scared of how they're going to respond. Yeah. And so in a nutshell, what Coach Jefferson just said is the choice to be honest should not be contingent about how other people are going to respond. The choice to be honest is one that you need to make for yourself. Right. To give yourself permission to show up. And it's an invitation for you to honor and respect yourself. And it's an invitation for other people to actually know you as you are, and not just how they would have you to be. And a lot of us have difficult feeling deeply connected in relationships, or we feel lonely or unseen and invisible because we spend a lot of time hiding who we really are and where we really are, because we're so busy trying to manage somebody else's emotions. When you try to manage somebody else's response by not showing up, then you're trying to manage their emotions. And people's responses and their emotions are not your responsibility. I am allowed to have any sort of response, emotion come up for me in response to whatever it is you share with me. I'm allowed to have that.
And you share it.
Exactly. And when you don't show up and you're not honest when you show up, you rob a person of the opportunity to see you, to know you, and to work through their own feelings. But like he was saying, you've got to have enough emotional security, right? And enough ability to differentiate between you and another person to allow yourself to show up in that space. Right. That's really good.
Yeah. And so I think so many times, in not just marriage, but in relationships with other people, coworkers, family, friends, we miss opportunities to go deeper with people because of our fear of how they're going to respond to our truth.
Yeah. Yeah. But here's the thing. Sometimes our truth may create conflict.
Yeah.
But and I say this all the time, I'm sure I've said it on this podcast, no conflict, no connection. You cannot have deep levels of connection in a relationship where you are consistently avoiding conflict. Conflict is an invitation to intimacy. It's an invitation to intimacy. It's not linear, straight, pretty, cute with a bow on top, but it's still an invitation.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And so with that,
so this is what we'll do. We're going to take turns asking each other questions, and hopefully this will help you think a little bit about how to be honest about where you are in whatever type of relationships that you're in. And that's something that you need to be doing. So we have it's fun. We create a little pool of questions in some different areas. And so we're going to each take turns asking one another questions and just really try to go deeper in this conversation.
So for you, I want to ask, so what does it feel like inside when you know that I'm not okay, but don't want to say it out loud?
What is it
I'm sorry. What does it feel like inside for you when you know you're not okay, but you don't want to say it out loud?
Oh, that's a good question. When I know I'm not okay, but I don't want to say it out loud. I think for me, just because of my personality, there's like a hardness because I have a lot of practice over the span of my life of just protecting myself emotionally. So if there's something that I need to say, but I don't want to say it out loud, for me, it feels hard. Like, and I've said this many a times, vulnerability is not my strong suit. So my default isn't going to be to like just naturally open up and say the thing. It feels like a hardness. And, if I want to do the right thing, the healthy thing, I often have to work through being self-protective for the sake of myself and for the sake of the intimacy and authenticity in the relationship. So for me, it feels like hard. Okay. Like here I go again. I just need to protect myself and take care of myself. I can't trust other people with my truth. Yeah, that's good. That's a good question. What does that feel like for you?
I think for me, I can get a little anxious.
Okay.
Right. A little jittery because it's something that I want to be able to talk about. There are times where things that I want to be able to talk about without really knowing how to because of that fear, how others will respond or how you will respond. And so it's something I've worked through over time. I'm getting better.
Yeah.
Still growing. And I think we all are still growing in different ways. But I think for me, it's just like a kind of a little anxiousness.
Yeah.
Feeling a little, jittery.
That's good. So I got a follow-up question. So if you feel that anxiousness and you get jittery and you don't speak up and you don't say something, what does that look like? Or how does that manifest in our communication moving forward? What does that turn into? Right? That just came to me because I'm sure, you guys, like, the reality of it is that we don't always press through that initial reaction. What does that end up producing in how you communicate and how you're showing up?
It creates like a void, a gap. It creates me kind of like sinking back, not being fully present.
Okay.
Because I know there's something I want to talk about, but I can't. So I'll find ways to, hide.
Come on. It's hiding. Yeah.
It's hiding.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's good, right? And on the other end of that, there are times where I can feel that. And so I think
you're trying to hide something and your spouse knows.
Right.
Like,
they know, they may not know exactly what it is.
But they know something's up.
But something's up, right? And for me, what it feels like when I don't, speak up and use my voice and be honest, when that hardness is there, if I don't press through that, for me, it's either one of two things. I can become just dismissive and detached, right? I'm just kind of in my own world, doing my own thing in my own head.
Yeah.
Not trying to connect. Or I could become aggressive. Like if I was like angry or something. And it's not like, like not trying to like beat him up or nothing like that. But I can become like sharp, or terse with my words and not really being as careful, with managing frustration as it comes up.
Or caring.
Right. Or caring, right? Just dismissive. Like whatever, So
get on my nerves. Leave me alone. Stop.
Yeah.
With my goofy self.
Listen, he's so goofy. So I have to say that at least once every day anyway, because he just like can go overboard.
I don't want to play right now.
I do not want to play right now. I have to tell him that, right? We need to take a time out. Please stop.
So, you mean that side eye, y'all?
Stop. Because he's so playful.
He's fine. No.
He's so sweet. But that's important because actually my withdrawing or, being irritable and you're hiding, those are both like forms of self-sabotage. And so it's important to remember that if we're not getting to the point where we're able to recognize the ways that we kind of hold back and being open and honest and push through those, what oftentimes we're doing is sabotaging ourselves, and by byproduct of that, sabotaging the relationship. Right? So we got to watch out for that. That was good. Okay. So I've got a question for you. And this is around the areas of like growth and readiness. Okay. So how do you know when you're avoiding growth versus just needing time?
What was the second part again?
How do you know when you're avoiding growth versus you just need some time? Right? Because we're talking about I'm changing.
Yeah.
But sometimes people are avoiding and sometimes people just need time. How do you know? How do you know the difference?
I know the difference when my awareness has increased in an area.
Okay.
Of things that I need to deal with, that I need to get done. Needing time is when it's a new skill that I'm developing, and it's something that's new to me that has just been brought to my awareness.
Okay.
So yeah, like avoiding the growth is about like not wanting to be uncomfortable. I know something. I know it's there. I see it. But like, I don't want to put in the work. I don't want to deal with the discomfort.
Yes.
I don't want to deal with, the labor of it to get the thing done.
How do you know you don't want to deal with it?
Because in my head, I say, I don't feel like doing this.
Come on. Listen, we're going to get to the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Right?
Literally.
It's
not no magical deep answer. It's just like, I don't want to do that.
No.
Like people know, right? If it's something where growth is being avoided. And then also not just internally, but also say from vetted, trusted voices in your life when they tell you, when they show you and it's true and you still trying to duck, dodge or, do something contrary to what you need to be doing. The needing time is where literally it's something that it is new to me, right? And now I have an awareness and I'm working at developing this new muscle that isn't developed yet. So
Correct. That is so spot on. And I'm so glad that you said that, because sometimes we do need to change and we need to grow. Just because you have the awareness doesn't mean that you have the readiness. Right? Because this is what we know about change. Change has stages, right? Some of you may have heard of the stages of change, right? There's pre-contemplation, there's contemplation, and then there's active change.
Right.
Then sometimes people have relapse.
And I just want to add to avoiding growth. I just thought about this too is when you willfully knowingly continue in harmful behaviors when you know that the solution has been made available to you. Yeah. Like
that's avoidance. That's avoidance, right? It's avoidance. Yeah. And we got to watch that thing, right?
Listen.
But here's the thing that I want to say. It's okay for you to need to change and not be ready. But a person who is honest, when you can be honest with yourself, if you know that there's an area where you're not quite ready, that's okay. But you know what you need to do? You need to communicate that. Like, it's been brought to my attention, or I understand this, or I'm aware of this, but I'm not ready.
Yeah, that's good.
It's okay to not be ready. I have, at the beginning of this year, 6 goals for this year. I started out actively pursuing 2 of the 6 things. The other 4 things, I am not significantly focused on this at this time. They're in my awareness, but I am not ready to address them. I can grow and I can change in all the ways, but it is not practical or feasible to expect yourself or put pressure on yourself to change in every single area at the same time. Right. That's not feasible. And because we're not looking for perfection and we're not looking for speed in this life. We really should just be able to do the best that we can with what we have in the season that we're in. But if you're under communicating, right, it's okay for you to be aware, but just because you're aware, it doesn't mean that you can do it right now. And
Right.
sometimes that's a conversation.
Right. So that, having the awareness, right? And just because you're not executing on the thing right now,
Right.
doesn't mean that you're avoiding growth,
That's good.
right? Because like you said, you got some things you have grown, and your goals show that you're approaching. I want to grow in this area.
Right.
It's just not time for me to press the button to start in that way.
Right. And guess what? It is your responsibility to communicate in your romantic relationship, right? In your marriage, with a friendship, in a relationship that really matters, where the connection and the intimacy really matters. It's your responsibility to say, hey, this is where I am, because that's what we're talking about. How to be honest about where you are. Being honest about where you are also includes being honest about things that you are aware of and what you're not ready for yet. And you can talk about the why.
Yeah.
And you could talk about the when. Or you could talk about the fact that maybe you're aware, but you have no earthly idea. Right? How to lean into growth and transformation in this area. So maybe you need to move into some discovery and then some exploration. But guess what? A part of the honesty is being honest about your capacity, the resources you have, what you don't have, what you know and what you don't know.
And your desires.
Come on. And just even your desires.
Like, do you want to grow?
Do you even want to grow?
Why?
Right.
Why not? But see, if you're not willing to admit,
come on,
or confess that truth, right, it determines your trajectory and where you can go.
Correct.
There's people that want to grow, people that don't want to grow.
Yeah.
People that know certain things in their life that are happening, that are negatively impacting self and others, and still do nothing about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
So now let's get into some real time.
Okay.
All right. So what does honesty look like for you in our relationship when it's healthy?
I think when the relationship is healthy, honesty is about just open communication around things that may be sensitive, whether it's solicited or not, And I would say, particularly for us, unsolicited, right? Because I'm the type of person who asks a lot of questions.
Yes, you will.
And I will solicit for a lot of information. But I think when we're healthy, I really appreciate it. It's like whether it's me coming forth and sharing something without you asking, or vice versa, you coming forward, and sharing things without me having to inquire. And I think that's what I appreciate and I enjoy. And I think for me, it's not honesty. I don't think about honesty in this way of like, there's something that's connected to something that's like dirty or slimy or potential slip and slide for like sin or integrity issues. I also think it's about like intentions and goals and dreams and where we are in a journey, or how you are experiencing me. Or something that it is that you need, that you in the season that maybe isn't normative or hasn't been expressed. I think for us and between us, that's what it looks like when it's healthy. It's like having the courage to show up and to communicate in ways that allow you to be seen for who you are and where you are right here and right now. Because to me, there's nothing greater than that. Like that gives me an opportunity to love you well, right? And you're taking responsibility for allowing yourself to be seen.
That's good.
Because I believe that I can see you if you show yourself.
Ooh.
Right?
That's good.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Would you add anything to that? Anything different for you? Like when it feels good?
Y'all,
right?
she just that was really good. I think for me, I just wanted to just hit on that part of like, it's not just when something great is happening or, things are going good, but it is also talking about the parts of us where there might be insecurity, or there might be uncertainty, or doubt or fear or a lack of clarity, and being able to bring those things to the table in a way that I understand, or you understand, that on the other end of that is support.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Encouragement, guidance, wisdom. And I think we miss opportunities when we don't share in that way. So that's I think, everything you said was spot on. That was really good.
I love that. So I've got a question around fear and vulnerability. So what do you think we're most afraid will happen if we're fully honest with each other? I could pick a different question because you kind of answered this.
I did.
Well, go ahead and say what you're going to say.
Oh, I just think it's I think it's like the criticism or fear of, like, not being seen in a certain way, or, like, or just like the judgment.
The judgment, there it is. Right. So fear of being judged, fear of being rejected, right? Yeah. And that's a big one. Like, I love that. And you actually said that at the top of this podcast. Really, it's like that fear, or what stops people, or what stops you at least, is being afraid of how people are going to respond. So trying to manage other people's emotions. And you also said you also get stopped by fear of judgment. Right. And fear of being rejected. And those are two big things. And so tell us a little bit more about the fear of judgment or the fear of rejection, because I know that a lot of people deal with that. It's a part of the reason why they will not be honest with others.
Yeah, I think, but I think it starts from within.
Yeah.
And so when a person isn't secure in identity, right, or even just how they're raised, or how their parents did, or relatives did, or what they experienced growing up, that really impacts the way one thinks. And so I think at the core of this, one has to be able to come to a place where they are unapologetic, secure in who they are, understanding too that their spouse or the person they're in the relationship with isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully. Don't tell people I said.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. Hopefully. Right. So I think it's that internal voice that has to be overcome. And I think over time, for me, it's just been a matter of recognizing what God has said about me.
Listen.
Sitting in that.
Listen.
Accepting that.
Come on.
Knowing that what God has determined.
Yes.
What he has spoken about me, who he's designed me to be, is untouchable.
Listen, that's it right there. And that's what I was going to say. The antidote to fearing judgment or rejection is your identity in Christ. And, and he was like, you need to know that that person will be there and they won't leave you. And I was like, hopefully, because sometimes, remember, it's a relationship. Sometimes people can't handle your truth. And I think that's okay. But in your most intimate relationships, there should be, even if they're struggling with it, a desire to see you and to know you as you are. And even if they don't, listen, one of the greatest antidotes is, and I love that song, man, it's your identity in Christ. It's your ability to know and to always know on the inside of you that you are already loved. What the song say? I'm already loved. I'm already chosen. I know who I am. I know what he's spoken. I'm already loved more than I can imagine. And baby, that's enough. So if I reveal myself to him and he doesn't see it or get it right away or understand or is affirmative, then guess what? Yes, I may be disappointed. Right, about that engagement and that interaction and what's going on between us. But I'm not going to internalize and make that mean that I am rejected, that I'm not accepted, that I'm not valued, that I'm not enough. Why? Because my identity is in Christ. It's in Christ. Right. And I build my life on the solid rock of his word and his truth, not on his opinion of me.
And not hers.
Come on. And not whether or not he can get it or catch it. Think about how flimsy and fragile we could feel as a person when we abdicate all of that power to somebody other than God.
We see it happen.
Come on. To tell us that we're known and loved and seen and valued. He's got a responsibility as my spouse and my life partner to reflect those things, my value back to me. However, he ain't God.
Right.
He didn't create me. I'm not created in his image. I'm created in God's image. And so no matter what, one of the greatest things that we can do is stay rooted and grounded in the truth of what God says about us, and not to be chasing at our core the applause or approval of our spouse, our friend, our boss, our mama. Listen, there is one who has created you, who has called you, who loves you, and who accepts you just the way you are right here, right now. And I do believe that in our relationships, the honesty and learning how to be honest, right, and to communicate with love and grace, it's just another invitation, right? And Christ models that with us.
Yeah.
In our relationship with him. It doesn't matter. He accepts you. We got to work on doing that between ourselves.
Facts.
Come on. He's already modeled it for us. He's already modeled it for us.
So what would you add to that from your
perspective?
What do you think, we're most afraid of? What do you think we're most afraid will happen if we're, truly honest?
Yeah, I think, for me, let's see, because when I think about my perspective, for me as a person, I do struggle with vulnerability. I do struggle with being so self-sufficient that it's difficult to allow people to care for me. So I think for me, the worst thing that could happen is that I ask for what I want or need, and the person does not show up and respond to that or provide that. My need is ignored. Right. And so that's the pain point for me because, and you talked about childhood, growing up as a child. Unfortunately, the truth is that I was a child with a whole lot of unmet needs, emotionally, physically, on a number of levels. Yeah. And because of that, I learned how to take care of myself. So the default, and it started at age 3, I literally remember things, but it created this default that I am responsible for me and I take care of me. Other people don't show up and do what they're supposed to be. I can't depend on other people. So that's the fear for me, because if that happens, if I express what it is that I want or I need, or I'm honest, and then you do not meet me in that space and do what you're supposed to do, it reinforces the idea, right? That my needs aren't important, that I'm not being valued.
That's good.
Right. And so sometimes it's oh, well, maybe I just want to avoid that altogether if I don't think it's something that's in your wheelhouse or something that you are capable of. But right. And I've done a lot of that, earlier on. I don't do it anymore. What I've had to learn is, even if you ain't got it, you still have the right to know.
That's right.
Because if you don't know, then you don't have an invitation or an opportunity to grow. So I'm sabotaging myself because I remain hyper independent, and I'm sabotaging you because you don't even know that you need to grow. And then I'm sabotaging us because we miss out on the opportunity for intimacy and growth in our relationship.
That's so good.
It's deep, so deep, right?
I hear that.
Right. And I'm hoping that will encourage someone who grew up in a way that it's caused you to have a default to where you are maybe a bit self-protective, or you just lean maybe or try to depend on others too much for things, right? Because it can be the opposite of what I described, that wherever it is that you are, that as you begin to recognize these things, that, you know what? My prayer is that God will help you to see that just because you started that way doesn't mean you have to keep going that way, right? If it's not healthy and it doesn't lead towards growth, you can change, you can grow, and you can pivot. And so my prayer is that God will give you the power and the desire to do what pleases him. Come on.
That's good.
That's my prayer for myself.
Ooh, so I got a question.
Okay.
Because, we're just talking now, shifting a little bit talking about moving forward together. Because, each of us, in every relationship, there are differences, and each person is different. So you're going to move different. You're going to learn things at different times. There's a different pace to our growth and our development. So in that, we had to begin to think man, even though we're developing at a different rate, a different pace, going through different things at different times, man, how do we move together? Because that's what you want. In your relationship, you want to be able to move together.
Yes.
So with that, how can we ask for what we need without making the other person wrong?
Oh, that's a great question. That actually takes some good quality communication skills, right? And asking for what you need without making the other person wrong is really about being clear about how you feel, and then asking for what you need, and then asking the person to respond to what it is that you've said. That's it. Now, sometimes people are going to feel like they are wrong because they may practice defensiveness, right? Or they may practice criticism, right? They may not have the awareness of the way that they are very reactive, right? When conflict comes up. And I think that's okay. You just need to stay rooted and grounded and maybe say something like, so let's give an example. So if I were to say something that I needed, let's say that I needed just like some space, right? Maybe I am, like noticing that I'm having a difficult time tapping back into the family in the evenings after my really long and hard days. And when I just jump back in, I'm not really present.
Right.
And perhaps the expectation and the rhythm is, we start talking right away about our day and talking about deep things and doing all this. And I'm not there. So maybe what I need is a little downtime to reset before I enter into family life in the evening. So I could say to him, so for me, it's always the so. Like no one. He's saying nothing, but then me. So, right? Because he's not going to say just, he's typically not the guy who's going to say, hey, I noticed that you're really not present when I'm talking to you at dinner time, or you seem distant. What's going on? Like, it would be great if he could say that. Or, maybe that's something that you can learn to do. I don't know. He doesn't, like, if I'm in a mood or there's something going on, he's not like the one, his communication style to like point it out and say what's going on. Like, I do that because I'm a counselor.
I think I've done it some.
Here and there, a little bit. You've gotten better.
Thank you.
Right? But I probably would have to just say, so one of the things that I've noticed about myself is that I'm having a hard time being present in the evenings when, we're trying to get back into family life. And I realized, I really think it's because like on Wednesday and Thursday, I'm just burnt out because it's intense in the afternoons. And so I think what I really need to do is take about 30 minutes
to an hour.
Yeah, let's be honest. 60 minutes after I finish my workday to just decompress and to really reconnect with myself before I start engaging with you guys. I think that would make a big difference to where when I'm with y'all and I'm back with you guys, I am present and I'm able to like be fully engaged and enjoy. And I would say, like, what do you think about that? What do you think about what I just said?
I think
what's wrong with him?
Yeah, this is her. This is how she.
I do.
I'm just laughing because it's really what.
This is what I teach people to do. So guess what? I have to do it myself. I have to practice this stuff in my own life. What do you think about what I just said?
Okay.
Because I don't want him to just say, okay. No, if you got a man in your life, you be like, No. Ask him.
Ask that ninja.
Or a friend or whomever. What do you think about what I just said?
Make it plain.
What do you think about what I just said?
I think that's great.
Oh, what do you think is great about that?
You I'm just trying to get myself together.
Please.
I'm sorry.
Don't pray for him.
I just had a silly moment because this is what she's so cute.
Thank you.
No, thanks for bringing that up. I'm sorry, y'all. Just having a moment. But really, that's good because you articulated exactly what you need. She was able to express her feelings, knowing that she needed that space. And notice what she said, how she said it. You did it without being accusatory or making it like I did something wrong.
All I said was I.
She said I. She didn't say you.
No.
Right? Because I'm going to be me. And in situations like this, she is the one that has to set that boundary. She got to lay that line down. And that's
No,
what she.
so I was asking you what you thought about what I said, like about the
I know.
problem.
Right. But I think that's good. I agree with you.
Okay.
That you need the space.
Okay.
I was just talking to helping the peoples.
Right.
Understand.
Right. And so,
but that's good. I think that's helpful because it lets me know what you need.
Yeah.
And what we can expect. It helps to clarify expectations of your presence.
Correct.
And I know what you need.
Right.
So I know to back off.
Right. And I'm not wrong for wanting that or needing that. I'm just a human. And that's a part of like knowing yourself and your limitations. Is you just shouldn't be focused on how is it that I show up to be everything that everybody wants me to be. You should be focused on how has God designed me and what has he assigned me to this season, and how do I show up in ways that are respectful of my priorities but also my limitations. Right? And so notice I didn't say, so when I finish work on Wednesdays and Thursdays, you always want to talk my head off right off as soon as I get out, and then I'm tired and stressed, and when I do go to the room, you get an attitude. Because that's what most people do. What you start doing is talking about somebody else's behavior and what you don't want them to do. Most people naturally are going to get defensive when you do that. So don't do that. Instead, talk about yourself. Talk about what it is you feel, I feel,
what you need,
and what I need, and then ask, what do you think about what I just said? And take it from there, right? It's just a real simple tool and skill in communication that can help to keep the tone a bit more positive and clear. So I hope that was helpful. Man, we covered a lot today.
That was good.
Goodness. So listen, I want you to reflect on your own honesty patterns. Okay. And it is okay to be afraid sometimes to be honest. But however, we can't allow fear to stop us. We have to find ways to work through that fear. And think about just having one small honest conversation this week. Look for an opportunity to have an honest conversation. And of course, as always, we've created a reflection guide to share some of these questions with you so that you can go deeper about how to be more honest about where you are in your relationship, whether it's your marriage, a dating relationship, a friendship, or anything in between.
So good.
Yeah. We're hoping that this was really helpful to you on today. Could you close us out?
I will. Yeah. And just as for closing, guys, just want y'all to remember this. You don't have to be fully healed to be honest. You don't have to have it all together to show up and be honest about what you're going through, what you're feeling. You don't have to have answers to tell the truth.
That's right.
Right? Just be real, be honest with where you are. And you don't have to be in the same place to stay connected. Honesty doesn't create distance. It's the silence that does. Let me pray for you. Lord, I thank you for this opportunity for Rosa and I to share our experiences and just go through these questions to talk about just being honest about where we are. Lord, I pray that every listener will learn from what we've shared, and they will come to a place where they're not fearful of what others are going to say or how they think, but Lord, that they will press into the unknown, press beyond the fear and be honest and show up and be their authentic selves. Lord, be with them, cover them. I speak peace over their minds as they continue to grow and develop in just embracing this emotional honesty that you desire for them to show in their relationships. And it's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. And I just also want to share that we are, Coach Jefferson and I, both accepting clients for individual life coaching. So if you need some support for yourself and growing in some healthy ways, we both have a couple of slots that are open at this point in the year. And we're also accepting coaching clients for couples. So if you want some more personalized support and encouragement with your relationship, we do have a couple of openings as well. So what you want to do is to make sure you actually could just send us an email or a text message. The number and information is going up on the screen. You can email at rjones@thehealingpros.com, or you can text 404-590-0050, and you'll make sure that you check this information out on the screen. We would love to hear from you and give you a consult about how we can better support you. And if you have been blessed, come on, by this episode or any other episodes with the Healing Project podcast, we want to invite you to support us financially. We are partnered with Surge Ministries to accept your tax-deductible donations. You can give a one-time gift, or better yet, become a monthly partner.
Come on, yeah.
Come on. And you can do that at thehealingpros.com/donate. So wonderful to be with you all today. Did you enjoy this?
Yeah, this was fun.
It was so fun. So we cannot wait to see you right back here next week for episode 19. Remember, our episodes drop every Tuesday. And until next time, remember, you can love others well without
losing yourself.
We'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
This podcast will help you better understand God's purpose for your life and your relationships.
Through deep conversations, storytelling, and real-world solutions will inspire you to live, love, and lead from a place of healing.
Visit www.thehealingpros.com and follow us on all social media platforms at The Healing Pros. While we hope you enjoy this podcast, all information shared is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for a relationship with a professional counselor, coach, or clergy member.